Hello, my name is Brad. I think I've met some of you. I run Team Kinetix and the Kinetix Academy, which is over on Moss Road. We've been on the estate now for a little over 6 years, which those of you that are good at maths means we opened 2018, kind of started building things through 2019, and then 2020 wasn't great for the leisure industry. We were 16 months of mandated closures and restrictions, which was a bit tough on us. We're kind of still feeling the pain of that now. So I honestly, when I was asked to speak here, I didn't really know what benefit we bring to the estate. You know? I'm looking at the kind of businesses that are on the estate, and I know that we are really pleased to be in Whittam. You know, you've got that community feel, and people do stop on the high street and say hello to you. You can go in and chat to businesses. I'm sorry, I take up far too much of your time when we come and have a natural. Always enjoy it. And I love that. I really love being in Whittam. I'm really pleased that we chose to move the business here, and it really was just because it was one of the only buildings that was that size. We've got 7,000 square foot unit that was in close proximity to the train station and bus routes and the A12, so it kind of worked for us. And actually, being in Whittam is brilliant. And so I'm really pleased to be here, and I love that community feel, which is why I got involved in the carnival, which I'll get to in a minute. But in terms of my business, we run activity for kids predominantly. We do adult classes, we also do preschool sessions, we do ladies-only classes in things like parkour, free running, acrobatics, circus skills. So looking around the room, with all due respect, I'm not seeing a lot of people that are our core bread and butter. So,
yeah, the word yet.
Yeah, we do run big. So I think what I want to talk to you guys about is something we started, which was 2 years ago. So we started up a not-for-profit, which is the Kinetix Academy CIC, because running a business in the leisure sector at the moment is challenging. You know, it's always the first thing to go when people are starting to feel the pinch, and we're starting to see memberships drop off. We can't put our prices up because people just simply can't afford the luxuries as much at the moment. So we set up a not-for-profit organisation. We've worked with Ministry of Justice. We did a project last year which was looking at the benefits of sport on antisocial behaviour, so trying to save these chaps a little bit of time and effort by taking young people who are on the periphery of crime and giving them access to opportunities to volunteer, opportunities to have positive engagement with other young people, and for the slightly older ones, giving them free access to qualifications and therefore employment. And we've had a few kids come through who were not in education, employment or training, and were perhaps not the kind of kids you'd want your kids to hang around with, that have now gone on to get qualifications, gone on to get full-time employment out the back of that. And we're very, very proud of that side of things. So I think that's really where my focus is at the moment, is those kind of projects. So not-for-profits were running for 2 years. We did the big Ministry of Justice programme, which was January, February last year. We're now working closely with local authority, taking kids who are from low-income families or on the periphery of crime. We're trying to save the NHS some money and save the criminal justice money because the courts are gummed up and the A&E departments are full. So if we can stop them having fights and causing crime in the first place, we can save a bit of time and money there. We're also recently got involved in food education. So myself and my partner Tash, we run the business together. I've got a little 2-year-old daughter, and during maternity, Tash's company offered her redundancy. So I was like, yeah, come on with me, it'll be great. So we run the thing together. And she got involved in the Ministry of Food through Jamie Oliver. So we've got a couple of qualified tutors now, and that's going into Templars Academy up by the courts in Whittam. And we're going to be running food education for the families there. So we're going to be taking families who are perhaps not in work, and again low-income families, and teaching them how to cook, how to prepare low-cost meals, how to food prep, how to read food labels, because there's kids up there, I mean, they've got a food bank in their reception in that school, which is just not what we want. So teaching them how they can food prep, how they can freeze, how they can batch cook, and how they can cook nutritious meals for the family at low cost. And obviously as part of the course, which is funded, we've got some funding from Essex County Council, we've got a little bit of funding through Active Essex as well. The meals that they're cooking, they can then take home with them as well. So they're going to cook a meal every week for 8 weeks, and they're going to take a meal home with them, so we know at least a couple of days that week they'll be fed. They've got kids coming to school with a bag of crisps for lunch. It's just not, it's not good. And if we can do, when you talk about doing good, that's really where we're at. You know, we can have little positive changes. So the CIC is a not-for-profit organisation run by myself. We've got 2 other independent directors, one from corporate background, one from education background. And if anyone's interested in getting involved in that, we'd love, you guys to come along and have some positive engagement with the kids in the summer holidays. We're running a programme which was started by, I'm really rubbish with football, so Marcus Rashford.
Yes.
Back in, yeah. So we're continuing that programme. So we do the HAF provision, which is the healthy activities and food. So kids come in, if they get benefits-based school dinners, we have them for a day, or we have them for 4 days in the school holidays with a healthy, nutritious dinner. As part of the funding, we had to make a commitment to using local business where possible, which is why all of the marketing material is, well, it's not the only reason, they are great, but yeah, they do everything. And Pickles Playhouse, which is just over there, we've got an arrangement with them where they provide healthy, nutritious meals that meet the school meal criteria for the kids in the school holidays. So the kids come in, they have a hot, nutritious meal. If there's anything left over, we send them home with it as well. And we do primary age in the morning, secondary age in the afternoon. And the secondary cohort are predominantly young carers who could just do a bit of respite, and kids on the periphery of crime. So we're talking about our kind of secondary intervention, which is children who might be known to the police but haven't yet been involved in the criminal justice system. So that's really what we do. On the very, very far end of that, my background was, I was a gymnast, acrobat performer, and we got to the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent in 2007, which seems like a lifetime ago now. And that really started a career in corporate entertainment. And for those who are involved in business, around that time, we know 2009 wasn't a great year for business in the UK. So where we were doing high-end corporate, we were doing entertainment and parties for things like the banks and big international shows. Even those that had money couldn't be seen to be spending it. So that's when I got involved in coaching, because the bottom fell out of the corporate market, and we were asked, could we teach people to do what we do? And I was like, yeah, probably. We've gone on to get Parkour recognised as a sport. I was on the national governing body I was on Parkour UK in 2017 when we got recognised as a sport. It's the only sport that's ever gone through the recognition process with Sport England. And yeah, it's been a fascinating time, and we try and give that energy. And I was a working class lad, grew up in Chelmsford from a family that didn't have a lot of money, and now I'm doing all the cool things I'm doing, so I can be an example to those kids coming through and say, you know what, if you want to do something, just do the things you enjoy and see where it takes you. And you know, you don't have to knock about with troublemakers.